Good evening.
Good evening. Are you ready? We have quorum. Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. We're getting ready to start the meeting of Community Board 12. Thank you. Can everyone take their seats? Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the March Community Board meeting of Bronx Community Board 12. I'll wait till you start, George. Yeah. Sure.
All right, you're good to start.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Bronx Community Board 12, the March Community Board meeting. Today is March 26th, 2026. The time is now 7:17 p.m. So first off, we have our public gallery session. First up for Community Speaks is Richard Jordan, East 233rd Street Block Association. Oh, 223rd, sorry.
So, out of curiosity, what link did you click?
Yes, good evening. The reason I came tonight is we're having a problem, on our block, which runs between Eastchester and Shefflin Avenue. There's a vacant lot, and squatters moved in. They're disassembling cars, selling marijuana. They've got cars parked on the block with no license plates. The 4-7 precinct did address it, but they'll only remove cars that have no license plates. And even though these cars are illegally registered, or not registered, as I should say, with bad tags on them, they weren't able to do anything about them. The owner of the property has been dead for some years. And, the city got involved, and right now on the books is a tax lien sales certificate. And Bank of New York, is the actual owner of the property. And I was more or less looking for some guidance as to what to do to address this problem.
Okay, thank you. Have you reached out to the board?
No. No, I've
So-
made complaints through 311. I had been in contact with somebody from the 4-7. They did tow a couple of cars. One particular abandoned car only had 3 wheels on it, so they wouldn't tow that. But any cars there, they're not going to run the plates from out of state, on cars with out of state tags. So, they wouldn't take any action on that.
Right.
But, these people are disturbing the block. They play music all night long. They live there in tents. And it's just bringing a bad element, you know, to a block that's been peaceful. I've lived there since 1964.
Okay, well, George, maybe you can speak to the district manager here, George, and let him know more about it, and then he can direct you.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, we have Augustine Njoku, Heart Alive Training.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Augustine. I represent a business called Heart Alive Training. The reason I'm here today is I'm looking for an opportunity to help the community that I belong to. We teach people how to resuscitate those that have what we call cardiac arrest. That is a kind of sudden death when people die within the first minute of death. There is something that could be done to save those people. And since after COVID, the incident of cardiac arrest has increased dramatically. And before, we used to think about old people, 55, 60 years of age, having a cardiac arrest. Now, almost every age, young people are having it. Everybody's having cardiac arrest. So I came here today to talk to the community, to look for an opportunity and way to incorporate what we are doing with what the community is doing so that we can help more people survive a cardiac arrest. So basically what happens is when there is when the blood supply to the heart stops, the heart will also stop. When there is no oxygen going to the heart muscle, the heart will stop and everything in the body will stop. But if there is a trained personnel somewhere there or a layman, but somebody who is trained on this skill of resuscitation, the patient could be saved. Relying on the 911 is somehow not too effective because the response time, because of response time, the average response time is about 6 minutes from the time the call was made. But within about 6 minutes, it's only about between 30 to 40% of the people that could be helped. So in order to help people that have cardiac arrest, something has to be done within the first minute of that arrest. So if we could train members of the community on this skill, that would be very, very helpful. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, my name is Augustine, Augustine. My last name is Njoku, Njoku. My telephone number is 929-248-7832. And I represent Heart Alive Training Incorporated. Thank you.
And this is your own organization?
Heart Alive Training. I have a flyer here that I could drop a flyer.
Yeah, that's what I was
here.
going to ask you to leave flyers. The table right there.
The table
Yes.
here or
No,
there?
back.
Here.
No, out there.
Out there.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
And God bless you. I also would like to be a member of this organization also. I would like to join you.
That's fine. You have to apply through the borough president's office, the Bronx Borough President's office, online. I'm not sure if that application's closed right now. It's closed for now. Yeah. Okay. Community speaks. We have Alicia Glover.
Good evening. I am Alicia Glover. I'm a resident. I've been living in this area for over 15 years. I'm a homeowner. Tonight is my first night coming. I've always said I wanted to come out, but because I was working on a different job, I wasn't able to make the meetings. But it has become overbearing about the abandoned cars. I'm on 235th Street between Carpenter and White Plains Road, and at this time there's about 6 to 7 abandoned cars from no license plates to various states. I have called 311. I have the numbers, that's filed. There's a car that's been sitting there for 2 years. White Plains Road, you have 3 buses between 233rd Street and say 241st Street. You got the 42, you got the Manhattan Express, you have the 39, and you have the 42. So, I wasn't a part of when they made the zoning for a bike lane and, moving the cars from being parked curbside to in the street. It's just a disaster. So to have abandoned cars where people live and have to park on White Plains Road and move your car at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning and subject to a ticket when you're not on time and you have those abandoned cars, that's not good. The hospital, their employees are parking and they have a parking lot. I believe that, maybe we need residential parking permits. Okay? I mean, people don't want to spend money, but guess what? When you park on White Plains Road, then you have all your stores. You have the deliveries. I just saw an accident yesterday by Burger King. A car was going into the driveway. You have the bike lane, and you have a car that's parked right here. It's a blind spot. Even when you turn on to 234th Street, people are not, they don't drive properly. They're not cautious. They have a green light. They think they can make a right. But you have to watch for this is not the area for that. I don't know how it came about, but this is not the area to have a park. You have all of the vendors, all the businesses. It's not. This is not the area for that. And the abandoned cars is way out of line. It's way out of line. So that's why I'm here to. I don't know if there's a petition that needs to be done. I know that there's supposed to be a law of if a car has been parked more than 7 days, that you can call up. Well, I've called up because cars have been parked more than 7 days. I have pictures of the cars, and something needs to be done. Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am. My name is Carlton Berkeley, and we have an officer by the name, well, he just got promoted to Detective Tyson.
Right.
All right, at the 47 precinct.
Tyson?
Tyson, Tyson.
Okay.
I don't know if he has your area, but we were going through the same thing you went through, and we had boats on my block, all right? And he had gotten the boats and several abandoned cars moved. Now, I don't know if he patrols your area.
Yes.
But if you call him,
Yes.
right? And
Detective or police officer?
Detective, because
Okay.
he just got promoted to detective
Okay.
because he did such a good job. All right, just speak with him, and he would probably put you in touch with the officers in your area.
Yes.
And because those cars can be moved, because it happened all up in my area. So call Detective Tyson, 47th Precinct.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Ms. Glover, have you made any 311 complaints?
I did. As a matter of fact, I've made complaints.
Use
and
the
then I
mic.
go back. Oh, I'm sorry. I've made complaints, and then I go back, and they said that it was resolved, but the cars are still there. Today, I did 5. As a matter of fact, I did 5 today, and there were about 2 that I didn't even put on because they were on the other side of the street. On one side of the street, between Carpenter and White Plains Road, is 5 abandoned cars that's been there a minute.
Because they've been doing enforcement in the neighborhood.
Now,
So-
the parking meter people, they'll come in the block and give you a ticket for a non-registration or a lapse in your expiration. But what are they doing about the cars?
Right. No, they've been doing enforcement in the community. So
Is there a task force? There's a task force for this type of,
Moved over 4,000 cars in the last couple of months, so they are definitely on it.
they haven't been on 235th Street. So if you can put East 235th Street between Carpenter and White Plains Road.
I'm in her
let me-
area, and our area has not been touched yet. Our area has a lot of abandoned cars. So I know that they are going through, but they just probably didn't touch our area as of yet.
Let me also add that once you make the connection with your officer, once you make the connection,
Yes.
you can take pictures. You can literally take pictures of the cars and text them right to the officer that's responsible for your area,
I have them.
and they will come out and move the car. So you don't even, just text it to them and they'll come out and remove it.
Once I make the connection.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I don't know whether or not people would want resident parking permits, but I think this area needs it.
Ms. Tyson, before you leave, I just wanted
Glover?
Ms. Glover, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Calling you Tyson. Ms. Glover, before you
Yes,
leave, I
yes.
just wanted to bring the attention that White Plains Road is being revamped by the Department of Planning.
Yes.
And keep your eyes keep availability so that you can promote what you'd like in the best interest of White Plains Road when they come into your neighborhood.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
additionally, you can attend the 47th Precinct Council meeting.
Oh, when is that?
It's
Every second Wednesday of the month. And it's a different location. It floats, but if you can give George Torres, the district manager, he's out there,
Okay.
give him your information. They can put you on the email list, so when the emails go out, you'll get it.
Perfect.
Okay? And I can let you know too. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, next we have Brittany Davis from Bragg, Bronx Rises Against Gun Violence. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone. Sleeping. Good evening, everyone. My name is Brittany Davis, Director for Bragg North. For those of you who don't know, Bragg is an acronym for Bronx Rises Against Gun Violence, under the umbrella of Good Shepherd Services that runs over millions of programs across the world. Our location that we service, our office is located at 825 East 233rd Street, and our other location is on 3274 Boston Road. And the area that we service runs from 215 all the way to 227 between Barnes and Paulden. Some of the things we do within the community, we do community events once a month. We help our troubled teen put the gun down and offer other services like boxing. Some of you know Summer Youth that runs in the summer. We have what they call anti-gun violence employment program that runs all year round for the youth. Basically trying to change the mindsets of our youth within the community. We always need the community help. Actually tomorrow, just to let some of the community members know, in front of our office on Boston Road, we're actually doing a hygiene giveaway event, free of charge. Just come give us a signature. We're very approachable. You can send some of our youth our way, coming to get job placement, job readiness, resume, if they need clothes, if they need advocacy to go to court. We also work closely with probation to deal with some of the probation high-risk individuals within the area. We work closely with the 47th, and we're here to service the community. So with that, I'll say my piece. Thank you. And I left some of the some palm cards in front, just in case if you guys need some information more on the program. My number is on the back. I answer 24/7, and that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Brittany. Do we have anyone online from the community for Community Speaks?
Yes. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
My name is,
Welcome.
oh, hi, everyone. My name is Marita Salke, and I'm the founder and executive director of Ronick Arts Media. I spoke at the board education meeting, and my organization is a 501c3 nonprofit. We provide free media arts programming to undeserved youth across the 5 boroughs, but we focus in the Bronx, New York, because we do feel like there is a gap in need for media arts programming and just for students to have an outlet and discover their purpose, discover their passion and their voice. We work with different community partners, such as Department of Youth and Community Development. We also work with Bronx Community Rising and other organizations that help us further the expansion of youth. We also work with DOE schools and various charter networks. I am requesting or asking for a letter of recommendation from the board to further our services, and this will help us in funding and different opportunities that we are looking to apply for, and will strengthen our applications when we are applying for funding for the Bronx Community District number 12. We currently work in Bronx Lab School through another grant from New York Cultural Affairs. So we're looking to continue on with this expansion of programming for our youth. And we tailor filmmaking, podcasting, and most recently, sports journalism. And we've been founded 2023.
Okay, thank you. Have you reached out to the board for the letter of support?
Yes, my contact is Ms. Dickinson, so she recommended me to the committee meeting, and I went to the education one, and then she recommended me to come to this one, general board meeting.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Dickerson. It's going to take care of that, right?
Yes, Ms. Salke, I got you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else online? For Community Speaks?
Sanders.
Virginia Standers. Welcome. Thank you.
Yes, I'm still trying to tell you all that the Wakefield Taxpayers and Civic League is still active, and we're still reaching out to any of our community leaders, our community associates, and our community family to please join the Wakefield Taxpayers Civic League. We're online right now, but we would like to come back to community board in person, but we don't really have enough people participating. We want y'all to come back. And I'd appreciate a little assistance in keeping the Wakefield Taxpayers going. So I'm reaching out to any and all to join the Wakefield Taxpayers Civic League. And we are due for election soon. I've been doing it since Mary Lowell passed, and I'm getting older now, so I need a lot of help.
Okay, we thank you for
Jenny
trying.
Sanders, President.
We thank you for keeping it going. Can you put your information in the chat on online?
I will definitely try.
So people can join the Wakefield Taxpayers, and I'm sure they have the information here at the community board as well.
Yes, they do.
But thank you.
Thank you for taking my call.
Anyone else online for Community Speaks?
Hello, my name is Patrick Jenkins. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Mr. Jenkins. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Patrick Jenkins. I am a representative, a lobbyist for a group called the NPR Leadership Forum, and I understand that this board had been requested based on information provided to them by a group called Beyond Plastics to secure a letter or send a letter to the New York State Assembly speaker requesting that he pass a bill, and I was asked to appear here to give the other side of the story. As a representative of companies such as Coca-Cola, Pepsi, SC Johnson, Walmart, Target, a company called several other companies, the American Chemistry Council, wanted to inform you that sometimes when people present something, they don't give you the whole story. So I was going to give you the other side of the story really quickly. There is the bill that is being presented to the Assembly. There are actually two bills, and there's actually two. Understands that plastic is bad. It's affecting our lives. It's affecting our garbage, how we dispose of things. It leaves a carbon footprint. There's a whole host of issues. However, there are various ways to get rid of plastic and to deal with the issue. And there's a second bill that wasn't spoken of, carried by an assemblywoman from the Bronx named Sean Jackson, that actually represents what the proper way of reducing and dealing with the plastics issue, how it should take place. Globe, it's how it's handled in several states in this country as it starts to enter America, like Minnesota, Washington, Maryland, Oregon, California. And there are several aspects to it, but the basic what other folks are asking us to do is to stop recycling, to get rid of plastics, and to ask all of the companies to do the exact same thing to get rid of their plastic. It would cause companies to leave the state, companies I represent like Coca-Cola and Pepsi to leave the state. So I was asked to come to express that to this board, to ask that you rescind your letter. It is not the right bill. It is not the right approach. And the approach that we would like to see is the approach that is used, that is spreading across the country, but also used in France, used in Japan, used in Ghana, used in the EU. And from what I understand, this board was not informed of that. And range of information. I know my time is short, but I can provide information to the board, and I want to thank Ms. Davis Lopez for the invitation to come and express that to this board and to make that request as well.
Mr. Jenkins, we did send a letter of support for that issue, just to let everybody know.
May I expand on that real quick? All right, so the letter of support was also in support of what the organization is doing for the community at large. So in order for us to understand better what the difference is between the legislation that you're putting forward, we would need you to come to the board and do a presentation. You are more than welcome to do so first. So is that something that you would be open to doing?
Most definitely, most definitely.
All right, awesome. All right, so Committee 2 hasn't set up their agenda yet, so you will definitely of our co-chairs, as well as Committee 2 at the current moment encompasses safety, parks, and environmental concerns. So those are the three major groups that consist of Committee number 2 that we were supporting. All right, so it's not necessarily a need to rescind the letter of support because, like I said earlier, it's not just for that bill. That organization who's already doing a lot of work, they've been doing a lot of work for over 30 years. But we do need to hear from you why your bill would be a little more innovative, because that's what I believe that that has to be, brought up to interpretation by the people here. It's not something that we can just decide as a board. Everyone here needs to be able to hear the information and make
Willing to come and explain the entire process and why the process that we have is, or the approach that we have is much better for your community.
Hello, Johnny Goff. Now,
Johnny?
Mr. Jenkins, Jesus. Ms. Davis, is this two separate bills we're listening to? Now he's bringing the first bill, the second bill, or which bill is he talking about?
All right, as a point of reference, Mr. Jenkins, could you please tell us what the name is of the legislation that you're putting forward? And
Sure.
and also tell us what stage in the process the bill is at. Did it pass Assembly as well as Senate or vice versa? Just give us a quick synopsis.
Sure. As of today, I'm here representing the approach that's presented in the bill A6191. The previous bill that you had a presentation on from Beyond Plastics was A1749. Both bills are up for consideration. They have not passed anything. They're in committee in both houses, and we do not expect these bills to be heard until May. But those are the two separate bills, which present two separate approaches to waste reduction. My bill is called the Affordable Waste Reduction Act.
My question is, how did you hear about the board's vote? How did you hear about the stance that the board took? I'm curious.
Well, we're working on this. I've been working on this bill for 3 years, and also made aware of who supports, who opposes. I have over 100 and some odd letters of opposition to the bill in my possession. So we, in our world, in our government affairs world, we are alerted to who supports and who's opposed to a bill.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Jenkins.
Anytime.
Next, we have up Robin Little.
Yes, good afternoon. Good morning, everyone.
Good evening. Welcome.
Thank you. I just want to piggyback off of Mr. Jordan, who spoke first this evening. I am also a resident on the 1100 block of 223rd Street, and my concerns are environmental. The people that are occupying the vacant lot on our block are also tapping into the fire hydrant because there is no water going into that uh, lot. Neither is there any electricity, so they are using generators and they're running those generators all night long. In addition to that, because they're doing car repairs, we have no idea of what chemicals are on that property because they have the gate bolted, so we can't see what's inside. If a fire breaks out and not knowing what chemicals, it could cause all kinds of breathing issues for people on this block. Again, this is a serious concern, and we hope the board will take it seriously.
Okay, thank you. We have the address. It's and Mr. Jordan spoke with the district manager here at the board this evening, so we hopefully that this can get resolved. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else online? Okay, so next we're going to elected officials and representatives. First up, Andy Tercios from Councilmember Kevin Riley's office.
Whoops. Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Andy Tercios. I am Councilmember Riley's constituent liaison, and I'm going to be starting today with speaking about legislation that was recently passed in March 10th stated. So there was a recent bill that was passed, Intro 0409, I believe. Yeah, 0409-2026. That bill was enacted in City Council. The purpose of the bill was essentially for DOT to start labeling certain streets where there is a bus lane, and it's also meant to incentivize them to identify those bus lanes and the hours that it isn't enacted, so that whenever that bus lane is in operation and whenever those hours are in effect, it'll be properly posted on a sign, and it's also going to incentivize DOT to put that information on a website online, available for anyone to see and check if they can get that information. So that's the legislation that was passed recently. It's currently waited for it to be signed by the mayor's office. And I'm going to go right into events. For March 31st, we're having a Women's History Month event. It's called Power Her Circle, networking and mentorship event. It's at 6 p.m. at the Northeast Bronx YMCA. Registration is required. Did not happen to bring any flyers with me today, so I will send all the flyers and all the information to Ursula so she can share with the board members. We're having an Easter extravaganza Saturday, April 4th from 12 to 3. That's going to be at the Eastchester Heights Courtyard, 3471 Fenton Avenue. That's going to be Saturday, April 4th. And then we're having a housing resource fair at Community Board 12 on April 9th from 5 to 7. RSVP is definitely encouraged, so if you want to share the flyer with anyone, just let me know and just talk to me afterwards so I can make sure to share with you the flyer that we have. We're having a community cleanup with MPC and NYCH2O on White Plains Road and Gun Hill Road. That's going to be April 11th from 10 a.m. to 12. And we're having a community conversations on transportation. That's going to be April 21st, a Tuesday, at 6 p.m. That's going to be right out of the Co-op City Church on 2350 Palmer Avenue. RSVP is definitely encouraged. We're going to be having New York City DOT there to present and talk about any issues with regarding transportation that you may have or any of the constituents may have. And then just reminding those that we have our monthly veteran services every fourth Thursday. So if you know anyone is a veteran in the district that really would like to inquire about any benefits that they haven't tapped into, please make sure to connect with our office so we can give that person an appointment. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. Next, we have Victor Martinez from Representative Richie Torres' office. Hey, Victor.
Hey, good to see everyone. My name is Victor Martinez. I'm here on behalf of Congressmember Richie Torres. I have a couple of updates. One of them is that the Congressmember, he introduced the Community Health Profile Act. Basically, we all know that New York City has this community health profile that they do every year or so. And we had a meeting a while ago right here that we discussed with a couple of you about that issue. And one of the ideas was actually to bring this to the federal level, at the national level in some way or another. So this bill that was introduced actually does that. It creates a community health profile. It's a pilot program that we're proposing for now. And it was introduced thanks to the conversations that we had right here. The other one that I wanted to mention is the Professional Degree Assets Restoration Act that was introduced by the Congressmember as well. The current administration, they have proposed some cuts related to federal graduate loans, and specifically it affects professional degree programs like nursing, social workers, and other kind of programs that basically establishes caps and as well eliminates grad plus loans. So this bill basically looks to eliminate the cuts that this administration is proposing as well. It's something that we have been working closely with higher education and a lot of groups that are advocating for this in many ways. Many of you may remember, this is not actually in this community, but it was 36 years ago in the Bronx, the Happy Land Social Club fire that happened. Actually, yesterday it was the commemoration of the 36th year. And so we actually introduced as well a resolution in Congress to commemorate and remember the victims of this fire. That it was 87 victims that died in that event. It's one of the deadliest fires in the history of the New York City. And it's something that the Congressmember continues to work related to fire safety. That is something that it impacts a lot of communities across the Bronx. We had a couple of events, a Women's History event, a Black History event as well. A couple of you were part of it with Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries and Speaker Nancy Pelosi that they came to the Bronx and were with they participated. And lastly, if you have any concerns, any help related to IRS, Social Security, immigration, any other federal agency, you can contact us. Our number is 718-503-9610. Again, 718-503-9610. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Victor. Good to see you.
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank Congressman Torres for allocating some funding for New York City Housing Authority to forego their high-rise, since there's been so many high-rise fires. Congressman Richie Torres has allocated $750,000 for Gun Hill houses and also Parkside houses. So I personally want to thank him for that.
Thank you so much for that. And something that I'm not sure if my colleague mentioned last month related to Shoelace Park as well. We were able to allocate $1 million for the park as well.
Yes.
So
we thank him for that.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Bianca Stevenson from Borough President Vanessa Gibson's office. Bronx Borough President Vanessa Gibson. Hi, Bianca.
Hi. Okay, good evening, Community Board 12. I bring greetings from the Borough President, and I wanted to share a few updates. So having heard borough-wide complaints, particularly in CB12, about traffic enforcement, the Borough President met with the NYPD. As a result, traffic enforcement conducted 4 operations in the area of Woodlawn Cemetery, resulting in 63 violations for overnight parking near the cemetery, including illegal car washes and trailers. Towing enforcement will begin this week, so the Borough President encourages you all to keep on calling 311 and sharing, you know, it's an open door policy at Borough Hall, sharing your complaints directly with our office, so that will continue to guide enforcement as well. I left some event flyers on the table, including notices for an upcoming Greek heritage celebration, as well as Trans Visibility Day. Feel free to pick them up on the way out. Also, the education unit is currently collecting prom suits and dresses and fancy shoes and handbags and all the stuff, because we're going to have a really spectacular giveaway at Borough Hall on May the 8th. So you can, let me know, let the Education Department at Borough Hall know that if you have anything that you would like to share. Finally, I wanted to flag a series of fire safety workshops. Fire safety remains a priority for the Borough President, especially considering what's been going on in the Bronx with fire. So I'm really excited to announce that there is one directly in the district that's happening on Monday at the East Concourse Older Adult Center, 236, on Monday at the Ray Nerid Older Adult Center at 720 Nerid Avenue in the Bronx. I went to one of these fire safety trainings last week, and I went because it was my job, right? But I was really surprised about all the things that I didn't know. So I encourage anyone who, may be available on Monday to go to this training, that it will be really worth your while to go. So that's it for me. Thank you very much. Yes. The training is at Rainy Reid Older Adult Center. There's also flyers for that here in the front, right? And that's on Monday at 10 o'clock.
Bianca, you have one question over here.
Sure.
Is Bronx Week on or off?
Oh, yeah, I could talk about that. So, so it was Bronx Week. The Borough President did announce that Bronx Week was off because she paused it because she wanted to look at some of the partnerships to make sure that, a lot of them were inherited, to make sure it's the best, most up and up sort of partnerships to help Bronx Week to happen. But after she paused it, there was such an outpouring from the community, no, we have to have Bronx Week, and other great partnerships emerged. So it is on. It's going to be, I believe, this from the May 7th to the 17th. Don't quote me exactly on that, but that's the window. So it is on, so be excited and, prepare for Bronx Week. Okay, thank you.
Well, we're glad to know that Bronx Week is back. Bronx Week was canceled for a minute, but we're glad to know Bronx Week is back. Good.
Virginia Sanders, can I give her a correction? We had that fire safety Monday already at the Rainer Reed Center.
Yes, it was on Monday. Thank you.
We already
They had it at the Rain Center on Monday, the fire safety.
That's correct.
No, it was the 23rd, right? Yeah, maybe it's another one. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, next we have Renell Ogilvy from Assemblymember Carl Heasey's office. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to go off the top of my head. Sorry, Renell. From Jamal Bailey's office, State Senator Jamal Bailey's office.
Oh, that's all right. So I only have one update. We have our autism walk. Give me 1 second. I had it up for 1 second. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so we have our autism walk April 25th. That's a Saturday from 11 to 1 p.m. in Mount Vernon. So it starts in front of Mount Vernon City Hall on 1 Roosevelt Square North, Mount Vernon, New York, 10550. And it ends at Nichols Playground, which is 531 North High Street in Mount Vernon. So we're partnering with several elected officials that cover Mount Vernon, such as Congressmember George Latimer, Mayor Sean Patterson Howard, Assemblymember Gary Pretlow, and County Legislator Tyree Woodson Samuels. So if you're interested, please let me know, and I can share that information in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Renell. Next, we
You're
have
welcome.
Anna Cohen from Assemblymember Dinowitz's office. Anna Cohen.
Hi.
Hi, Anna.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to say, I wanted to flag we have a few upcoming events. We have our community shredding events this May. The first weekend of May, on May 3rd, we have one outside of our office in Kingsbridge at 3107 Kingsbridge Ave. And then May 9th, we have one in Woodlawn from 10 to 12 outside of the Emerald Isle Immigration Center at 4275 Tona Avenue. And on May 17th, we have one in Riverdale on the corner of West 235th Street and Johnson Ave, May 17th at 10 to 1. And anyone can show up, bring any documents you need to get shredded, and it happens right in front of you. So just wanted to let everyone know about that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can you drop that information in the chat? And what was the second date at Katona?
Woodlawn is May 9th. I will drop all the
May
dates
9th.
in the chat.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody from any other elected official's office online? Seeing none, hearing none. That's it. Thank you. Next up on the agenda. Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for February 2026. Has everyone read the minutes and prepared themselves to vote? Board members? Okay.
And which month is this?
February.
They're not up. They're not up. They're not up.
I can't hear you. You want the minutes? Did we get them? Were they?
Table.
we have a newly elected secretary. As we recall, I was the secretary. I relinquished my duties as soon as I was appointed by all of you wonderful people to be your new first vice chair. Okay? So I did the minutes for January. I submitted them in January. And then the new secretary picked up in February when we were all online. Okay? So we just need to check in with our new secretary to see what those minutes are. So for right now, we're going to have to table approving the minutes.
Okay, next up we have the district manager's report. George?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm thanking the inspector right now. So you guys all know what just happened, right? All right. Yeah, I mean, so I was talking to one of the constituents in my office, and Alfredo came and he told me that we had an incident. And I mean, you were here, Johnny. You saw the whole thing. So, I'm sorry? You don't? You know him? Oh, really? Oh. Yeah, so, go ahead.
Right? Yeah, that would help, right? Right? Hey, and yes, sometimes when he shows up to certain spaces, he doesn't show up in a manner in which we would deem to be sober, okay? That doesn't mean that he's any less of a constituent. That doesn't mean that his opinion is less valuable. It just means that we need to have a discussion about private matters and safety in private. Because while you have the right to say whatever you want, you don't need to do that all the time. And that means when you say inflammatory comments like, I want to kill everybody, that could send people to a different space, right?
Come on the mic.
So, thank you for clearing up that we know this. Well, someone in the room knows him. I don't, and many of us don't. But what's concerning is that he said, I'll kill all of y'all in here. And so that's a threat, and we cannot condone that behavior, especially at our meeting. And whether we know him or not, or he's part of the constituent, we have to take a stance that that is not acceptable. And so the police was called, and he's been arrested.
So it wasn't that either. I saw he had a brass knuckles. So when he left, he had brass knuckles. So that's why I was afraid. I said it was beyond just the statement. I heard the statement, kept it cool, but it was the brass knuckle part where, again, we don't know who's going to come to the door. So I said, you know what? So that was the only reason why. Besides that, it was just more of the weapon at this.
Right. And to be clear, like, we weren't dismissing any of this. It's just that we're not going to panic anyone in this room unless we have to. So as y'all already saw, the proper procedure was followed, and we're just going to continue with business. But thank you to everyone for raising that concern and not taking it lightly. Do appreciate that.
Thank you. We just all want to be safe. That's the bottom line.
Well, I mean, I think that this highlights, we have cameras here. Chucky, it's one of the reasons why we have cameras here. On the camera, here, Johnny. Oh, okay.
I deal with children every day, with nursery school, walking kids to school 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, because parents can't do it. They just drop it off by Ms. Goff. She'll take the kids to school. I'm fine with all of that, but safety is my first priority. When he walked in here, I really didn't recognize him, Ms. Davis. I don't know who he is, but after he made the statement, I said to the ladies in front, that's unacceptable. We got to have our safety. I feel that an officer or somebody undercover, whatever they want to be, should be at this door, because once all of us come in here, we are shooting ducks.
Yes.
Sitting ducks, whichever word. Both start with an
We are.
S.
That's
And
why I
I
say-
feel that, It just was, it took my breath away.
Okay, well, that's why he's taken care of, and we can
Thank
move
you
on. We
very
can move on.
much
Thank
for
you.
your guys' concern.
To the point that Kamoni made, the gentleman, he was arrested. They found the brass knuckles on him. So we will pursue it. It's not okay. Nobody has the right to come and say whatever they want without the expectation that there will be consequences for whatever they say. That's not cool. We are a public body. We should never feel intimidated in this space. You know, and we are vulnerable because, you know, some of us will step up and some of us won't. But that's just the reality of, you know, what we deal with every day. But I'll launch into my thing to sort of change the mood. Go ahead, Chucky.
What I think should happen now is that a picture of that gentleman should be placed on this wall here so that everybody knows who he is, because some people didn't get to see him. I really didn't hear what he said, you know, but I was here, right? But I think that his picture should be displayed because he did, right, threaten everyone here. And we shouldn't, I think that a police officer should be at these meetings also, because what we do all the time is we wait till something happens and then all of a sudden they're there, you know, so I think we should really consider maybe speaking to the precinct and having a police officer here. But like I said, he was arrested. It's public information. His picture should be displayed, and anybody who threatens us, their picture should be up there, and I don't think they should be allowed to come back, to tell you the truth. I just don't think so. But.
Yeah. I'll follow up with the commanding officer. Say that again?
Yeah, we were.
When
A while back, but we were promised.
But was it before COVID,
Yeah.
John?
No.
I'll talk to
After
the.
COVID.
Leaders that show up at our meetings, and you know, I got a big mouth, but we have high-profile political leaders and other organizations, non-for-profits, and sometimes we even have children in here. We have a little girl in here right now. We should be all felt to be made safe here. That was ridiculous. So if we can work on, please, having a police officer, we should have two. There's two exits. We should have two, one in each exit.
I just want to say something. Years ago, we always had a police officer here. Dennis Ryan was the last captain that made sure that we had a police officer here. And it goes back about 20 years. But we had officers here on and off since. But we should have a police officer stationed here.
Okay, so maybe we can request that. We can put in a request
I'll
to
make the request.
Inspector Ashram. Okay.
And magnanimous.
I will
You know
follow
what
up
I'm
with
saying?
him.
So, no,
And
I'm telling you.
TSA agents.
I'm telling you because people walk in here, he had brass knuckles, you know, because that's what's going to come next. Because just because you have a police officer doesn't mean one or two people can't come in here with a weapon, and the first one they're going to take out is the police officer. And then that's when we all will be sitting ducks. Well, some of us will.
Yeah,
You know,
I want to.
some of us.
I want to keep it moving.
Thank you. Let's go. Yeah. District manager's report.
Yeah. So I'll be super brief. I just want to give you some updates on stuff that we've gotten in the last week or so. DDC, which is the Department of Design and Construction, is going to be doing work on Bruner and Eli. They were supposed to come to the community board back in September, and then they had to cancel abruptly, and they've been meaning to come back. They are doing a resurfacing and full-depth roadway reconstruction along portions of Bartow Avenue, Eli Avenue, Allerton Avenue, and Bruner Avenue. The reason I'm bringing this up is that anybody who lives in that neck of the woods knows that Bartow Avenue gets congested a lot if you're going to Bay Plaza or anything at certain times of the day. So what they were asking for, which was a little odd, was they were asking for permission, and that's what they're coming to the board to ask permission to work during daylight hours. DOT was mandating that they work at night to mitigate the disruption, but they're asking, and we agreed with them that working during the day expedites the project because they don't have to light it up. It cuts down on complaints about noise construction and stuff like that. So they are coming to our next, I guess, Standing Committee 1 or whatever it is that we rename it in April. So, hopefully all of you can attend that. In the same vein, we received a request for open street for Grenada Place. The New York City Department of Transportation notified us that somebody had filed an open streets application for Grenada Place between Grace and Eli Avenue. If you're familiar, that is the same block as down the street from the precinct. They're proposing, well, DOT gave them the approval, and it closes the street every Saturday from June 27th to August 29th from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Right now, we just got this application on Wednesday, so there's a 45-day window for comment if there are any objections. The applicant is Grenada In It to Win It. I was unfamiliar with it. I had a conversation with our chair. He said he was familiar with it. We've asked DOT to produce like what it is that they're going to do and the rationale for closing the street, because we feel the history of open streets in our neck of the woods has been absolutely terrible. If you recall, several years ago, they proposed closing East 222nd Street between White Plains Road and Bronx Boulevard so that they could use it for teacher parking for the charter school that was there, which we thought was absolutely horrendous. They sent us that application on June 30th, right when the community board was going to go on recess, and said that you had 45 days to comment. We worked with our elected officials. The Equality Charter School pulled the application. The first application, when they redid the whole open streets, the woman of Woodlawn actually put in an application to shut down Webster Avenue for 2 blocks. I think it was like 235th to 234th or something like that. And they had absolutely no programming. So again, I know when I finish, he can speak. It was absolutely terrible because, again, we've seen open streets work in other parts of the city, like Park Avenue in Manhattan, where they have tons of programming. They have the water program, they have the bikes come out, and there's tons of programming. Just closing a street because you can is not viable. It pisses people off because you take residential parking away from folks, and these are residential streets. Go ahead, Luke.
I just wanted to flag that the one successful open streets that we've had was with the farmers market that was activated on 212th Street, right under the bridge. So I know there's a lot of negativity being communicated around open streets. We had the New York City Parks Department Playmobil come out. We had jump rope, hula hoop, farmers come out to set up. So I know there's a lot of negativity around the cause, but there have been successful open streets in our borough, in our district even, and just wanted to say that these are really exciting things that transform people's days. Our open streets activated, we had sprinklers set up and had music set up, so there are a lot of positive things that can be done in these types of temporary play spaces, often in a lot of places that don't have parkland.
All right, not to debate you though, Luke. I mean, Grenada Place is a whole street with car access. The farmers market was different. It's a different situation under the elevated train. But as far as Grenada Place, that's a street, and people are home on Saturday and want to park their car, and it's a lot.
I understand.
It's different. It's two different situations.
Totally understand, but if we're listing out the history of open streets and fail to bring up the one that this community board has been heavily involved in and has been really successful, that makes it seem like we're only focusing on the ones that there have been challenges with. So, understand that every application, is a specific thing in a specific place, but let's just not paint the whole picture before we look at some of the details. Thanks.
Go ahead, Carl. Up.
My friend over here wants to know why they want to close the street.
We don't know.
Okay. Now,
That's
Now,
so the request that I made to the commissioner's office was to give us the rationale. We don't, so when the DOT gets these applications, they don't share it with the board. They approve it, and then they give the board, they give us a notification, they give us a 45-day letter, basically, saying, you have 45 days to comment on whether you support or object to this. My problem and our history is that we've had different commissioners go through this. With our previous commissioner, Anthony Perez, they gave the notification on June 30th. We already had our full board meeting. We were leaving for recess July 1st, or again, we continue to work, but the board wasn't gonna have another meeting until September. And because we needed the last weeks of September, you know, it's the end of September, just like today is March 26th, that meeting wasn't gonna happen until. So that is my problem. This is something that isn't just stated at this community board, it's stated when they came to make the presentation at Borough Board in the Borough President's office. I made the same comments, many of my colleagues. Citywide, there are 59 community boards. Many of them articulated the same concern, is that you're taking the voice of the community and you're basically giving it to somebody who lives in NYCHA at Edenwald and filled out an application. I implore any of you to go home, fill out the application, pay whatever the $25 fee is or $45 fee, and propose shutting down a major artery in this district, and you will be approved. That's because they did it for Webster Avenue. Webster Avenue is a heavily trafficked building, corridor. I mean, again, you may disagree with what streets are, but when the Bronx River gets jacked up, everybody turns to Webster Avenue. And they use it as the people in Woodlawn use it, people park their cars in Woodlawn on Webster Avenue, and when you shut down the street, you're limiting, there's buses that go up and down Webster Avenue, those all have to be rerouted. And which is fine. If you're doing that on Park Avenue, and I enjoy the city, I'm a New Yorker, born and raised here. When I go and I see Park Avenue, they shut down for summer streets, and they program the heck out of it. They have New York City agencies are out there. You have private companies out there, all promoting their wares. And you say, oh, there's justification for this. You see people riding their bikes on Park Avenue, everybody just meandering around, they're having a lovely time in the summertime, and it's beautiful. When you shut down Webster Avenue, on any given day, especially in a residential community where people come home to, they don't want to be bothered by these things. And that's who I'm thinking about. I'm not thinking about some organization that wants to play basketball in the middle of the street or wants to do programming in the middle of the street. I'm thinking about the reconstruction that is currently happening in Edenwald houses right now, and they're shutting down parking spaces in Edenwald so that people are forced to park on the street because their parking in their parking lots is being limited because it's used for staging areas for the construction that is going on right now in Edenwald. The homeowners that live on Grenada Place don't have driveways. They don't have backyards. They have backyards, but they don't have driveways. So, you know, again, it would be inconvenient that after a long week of work, you have to wake up on Saturday, your day off, and move your car to see absolutely what? I don't know, because DOT never articulated what Grenada In It to Win It is going to do every Saturday from 11 to 7 that justifies giving them the okay to shut down the street.
George,
I'm sorry, Carl's got the floor. Go ahead.
Yeah, the one problem I have with closing Granada's Place is we do not know when the sewer reconstruction on 233rd Street is going to hit that intersection of Laconia Avenue. Because when Laconia Avenue is going to be shut off at that intersection, the buses will have to be rerouted through Granada Place to 233rd. So I would definitely be opposed to closing Granada Place, not knowing how the contractor is going to move his construction along.
I'm sure that the people at DOT are professionals and they've considered all of these angles. I'm just asking for what they're going to do, and we should know that.
I dealt with them 32 years. I know what they think.
Yeah, the next thing, there's 5 of them, so I'll try and be as quick as possible. We received the BSA application, which we shared with everybody for 834 East 233rd Street. This is the Shell gas station right here on Bussing and 233rd. So that's coming up. For some of us, you folks will remember 3901 White Plains Road. We were just talking about the charter school. The charter school is now gone, and they're pressing forward with the ULURP for a 14-story tower at that. If you guys don't know, that's the corner, that used to be, what was it, Rite Aid? That used to be Rite Aid. And then, as you know, that's a super wide lot. It has the Rite Aid that's there, and then it has a parking lot that used to be adjacent to Rite Aid. So they came to the community board, Robert helped me, 3, 4, 5 years ago? Yeah, like 4 years ago, they made a presentation to the board. They've kind of moderated their request. The building was supposed to be a lot taller. It was going to be like a 30-story structure. Well, they had multiple options. They gave us 3 choices. Anyway, they have not certified, but we did get the renderings. We shared it back in January with the board, but I think if you guys are concerned about it, we need to start making not making hay, but, start talking about it now, especially within the context of what the councilman's doing with the White Plains Road revisioning. Maybe such a super tall building would not be necessary since we're already looking at upzoning most of White Plains Road for housing. But, that's something to consider. The final thing, actually, no, I don't want to steal your thunder. You didn't speak about the precinct council, the meeting that we had here with the precinct, right? Yeah? All right. So on Tuesday, we were here, and we had a conversation with we were asked, we took a shooting at G&S Restaurant on White Plains Road, and the stuff that you hear in the press and the stuff that it's wild. We took a shooting, 2 people were shot, 1 died, but when the commanding officer came here and he told us what was going on, he told us that one person was shot, he was outside, he's the one that perished. There was a second victim in the restaurant, in the kitchen, and they refused to let the cops in. And when the cops tried to come in, the bouncer swung and punched a uniformed officer in the face. So it is pretty wild, and we had a lively discussion, and I've told the board, we should consider now the precinct commander had 3 specific requests. So let me just back up a little. Originally, the meeting was supposed to be with 5 establishments in our district that they felt could use a stern speaking to. And we scheduled that, and that was supposed to be Tuesday. And then word of it got back to SBS. And again, this is my problem with the city now. The previous administration was notorious for it, and it seems like this one is doing the same thing. I'm sorry? Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm going to get to it, but SBS is the Department of Small Business Services. So we scheduled the meeting. Everything was going well. We scheduled the 5 restaurants that were supposed to come, and the precinct requested that somebody from the Department of Small Business Services come. I didn't necessarily know who that person was supposed to be. They sent me an email. I followed up with their lawyer, Francesca Mira, and we had a really wild conversation, and they were basically asking me, like, what are you doing? And I said, we're gonna have a conversation, the community is gonna have a conversation with these restaurants and, you know, and the precinct. This was a request of the precinct. And they're gonna use our space. I said, we have a nice, unique space that we could accommodate all this, and it would be beneficial to my board members to hear all of this stuff. I guess they took offense to it. They called 1PP called Borough Command called the commanding officer, they canceled the meeting. I asked the commanding officer, I said, we got an overwhelming response from board members. They said they were gonna be here. And I said I didn't want to lose that opportunity, so we still went and had a meeting. There was only 15 of us, but it was a really great discussion. You know, this is stuff we're gonna have to take to Ariel's committee. And, you know, I hope all of you get involved with it. There is a lot of, I guess, thought on what it is that we want to see in our district. And so the request from the commanding officer, from what other commands that he has been at, is that we should be requesting 3 things of our eating and drinking establishments, our liquor license establishments. ID scanners, cameras on the inside and outside, and any space that's a PA space. A PA space is a public assembly space that has, and anytime you have a space that has 75 or more people, that requires a public assembly permit. That's given to you by the Department of Buildings and also in conjunction with the fire department. They do inspections and all that stuff. Anyway, any place that's over 75 people, that they have licensed security. So that's something that we should consider. But I think this is something that independently we should be inviting those same 5 establishments to the community board to have a conversation. The precinct said that there are they invited one group that was a success story in terms of, and that was Last Stop. Last Stop was a success story. They had issues, and they had conversations with the precinct, and they were able to sort of work those issues out, and now they're, you know, somebody that, and that's why they were being invited, so that they could speak to the other restaurant owners and say, no, you can still be successful and do all of these things. So I think that that's a conversation that we need to have here. Ariel requested that we get another presentation from the State Liquor Authority, so I will be, if I'm not successful in getting somebody to respond to my email, I will reach out to our elected officials, who I'm sure will be more than happy to facilitate putting something together. And with that, that is everything. Today marks my 3,889th day as your district manager, or 10 years, 7 months, and 24th day of my tenure. I'm grateful for each and every day at the board. I'm sorry? I just said it. 10 years, 7 months. It's 10 years.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, George.
You're welcome. I'm sorry. So Kimoni asked me about, so I reached out to NYCHA. This was about setting up a meeting with Boston Secor about the fire and the RAD and all that other stuff. So I did reach out to Brian Honan and Nicole Nashin, I think is his last name, Nikolai. And they responded that they couldn't get anybody for this meeting, but they did say that they will be at our April 23rd meeting?
Yeah, April 23rd.
Yeah, April 23rd. So hopefully, you know, they'll come to that.
We'll still go forward on the 13th.
I'm sorry?
On the 13th is our Committee 1 meeting, and that was going to be raised.
I didn't invite them to that, though, Robert.
Okay.
I invited them to the full board.
Fine, fine.
Oh, okay.
We'll be ready.
The only thing I would ask, if you have specific questions, you know, it would be helpful if you gave it to me so I could give it to them so that they could speak to it. I don't like when agencies come here and then say, oh, I got to get back to you. Like if you, yeah. Yeah.
gotta use the mic.
Say the mic. It's not just for our benefits, for the people on.
So I'm asking George to just explain quickly what, because people are kind of not understanding why we're talking about NYCHA, but this is in regard to the fire at the Boston Secor development, which, you know, we had a community member lost their life there, and 300 and odd residents were, you know, displaced. So I think as a board, we have a responsibility to make sure that agencies are accountable for their actions, but we're also questioning the management at the facility or the property. And we would want to understand now that they've privatized the development, what's NYCHA's involvement and what we will do going forward to ensure that certain agencies are not given the opportunity to manage. Because my thought is if agencies have reviews with 1 star and people are complaining about how they manage properties, why are they then included and selected as management agencies to run our properties in our neighborhood?
And not only Boston Secor, they have a couple of other developments, and there are issues there. So we need to take care of our particular community board. If these individuals want to be a non-for-profit, they need to be under certain restrictions, and NYCHA needs to do that, and we have to make that known. That's all.
Okay, thank you.
The last thing I wanted everybody, I don't know if George explained it or said it, but in that shooting, what the commanding officer said, that with the person who was shot that survived, that the establishment was hiding that person in the kitchen because they did not want to turn that person over to the police, who just wanted to get the person to the hospital. So I just wanted you guys to know that they were not just, you know, harboring, they were hiding that person from the police. I don't know if you want to be in any establishment that, God forbid, something happens to you and they're worried about their license or whatever, and they're going to hide you, you know, so that you can possibly die. And
last thing on that is that there were 200 people in there, according to the commanding officer. They have a capacity of 75. There were 200 people in there.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Next is the chairperson's report. Thank you, Chair. Good evening, board members, partners, and neighbors. Thank you for being here and for your continued commitment to Community Board 12. I want to take this time to share some important updates. Firstly, sanitation. We all see what's happening out here: overflowing baskets, illegal dumping, corridors that aren't being maintained the way our community deserves. It's unacceptable. Now that the snow is cleared, we're pushing DSNY. We're going to push DSNY hard, but we need every set of eyes in the room. When you see something, report it. Let's make it clear that Community Board 12 will not settle for anything less than clean, safe streets, and they will be attending our May meeting, sanitation. DSNY will be here in May. We're also seeing more cars parked on sidewalks, blocking pedestrians and creating real safety hazards on White Plains Road and throughout the district. It's dangerous, disrespectful, and it blocks our seniors, our children, and our families. If you see this happening, please call 311. I want to take a moment to congratulate our board member, even though she's not here, Jaslyn Farmer, who has been elected as our new recording secretary. We're grateful for her willingness to serve and look forward to the organization and professionalism she will bring to the role. Another important update is the shelter at 3240 Grace Avenue, which has officially been canceled. That outcome didn't happen by accident. It happened because this community showed up, spoke up, and stood together, and that's the power of Community Board 12. This outcome reflects the power of community engagement and collective advocacy. Thank you to everyone who showed up and ensured that our concerns were heard. On March 24th, George just told you about, we had a meeting with Inspector Mohammed Ashraf at the 47th Precinct about the shooting on White Plains Road. We already took care of that. The conversation was direct and focused. We talked about increasing patrols, strengthening communication with businesses, reviewing safety protocols at nightlife establishments, and making sure residents feel empowered to report concerns early. Committed to doing everything that we can prevent this kind of violence from taking place in our community. Looking ahead, we're looking to invite our elected officials to join us for a future legislative breakfast. Their presence is essential as we continue addressing district-wide issues and advocating for resources that our community deserves. As new members join the board, we want to make sure that they're properly oriented. I'm recommending that we conduct in-house orientation sessions for all incoming board members so that every new board member understands our mission, our procedures, and the level of excellence that we expect here at Community Board 12. Planning is also underway for our Community Resource Fair in June. We'll talk more about that, right, Dominique? Yes. Our preparations for our Community Board Night Out, we're going to get that going too. We're working to expand participation and create an even more engaging experience for all of our board members. And finally, we'd like to begin sharing health and wellness information on our Instagram page, Alpha. And just as linked, and Dr. Finn. And in closing, I thank you for your dedication, your voice, your presence, and your commitment to Community Board 12. Together, we're looking to build a cleaner, more safer, healthier, and more connected district. Let's keep pushing and keep showing, and let's keep Community Board 12 moving forward. Thank you. So, do we have any committee reports? Yes? You do?
I'm going to bring back something that we voted on in November, but we were one person shy of a quorum. So even though it was unanimously approved, we couldn't send a letter to Standard and Appeals.
Ever, I gotta make him up.
And this was involved with the gas station located at 233rd and Webster. It was approved, but again, we were one vote shy, so we need to take a vote again. Because now we have a quorum, so they can get their 10-year extension. I mean, they keep the place spotless. I mean, it's amazing, you know, and that place is very, very busy. So I would ask for a vote to approve the 10-year extension on their zoning change. It's on the corner of 233rd Street and Webster Avenue. It's a mobile gas station. Used to be BP and then Exxon, and now it's Mobil, even though Exxon Mobil is the same company. Can I can I have a motion for that, please? All variances are given for 10 years.
Okay, I just wanted to know.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept a 10-year extension for a mobile gas station.
This is Robert Hall. I second.
Take a roll call vote?
We do have a quorum tonight, thank goodness. Yay! Okay. I don't think, has anybody left the building since we began this meeting? Okay, I'm going to be very quick and to the point. Instead of me doing a roll call, I'm going to ask if all are in favor of this extension of 10 years for 10 years.
Aye. Aye.
And the ones, thank you for everybody who's here. No, wait until I finish, okay? Anyone who is on virtual that is in favor of it, I need to know about that also. Toronto, Mensa, Nandi, are you all in favor of it? I have an eye for a few of them. Okay, then it's unanimous.
Wait, you didn't ask for nays or any other?
I just said, you want to
I
vote?
want to oppose, yeah.
You wanna
My vote is nay. You just called for the ayes.
Oh,
You didn't call for recusals or
Okay.
abstentions.
No, I didn't. Okay, so you're a nay?
I'm a nay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. No, any recluse? Anyone reclusing? No? No? That's it? Okay. Oh, hold on, hold on. So everything else is one no, one nay, and all yay. Okay, thank you very much.
Motion is passed.
Okay. The other thing I want to say, and I sort of was brushed off at the last meeting when I brought it up, and I was told it was only an advisory, is the sewer construction on East 233rd Street between Bronxwood and I believe it's, well, it goes past Baychester. It goes to Reamer, I believe, yeah. And the problem is, this is a major job. The board has no input on what we need to see the contractor do. Because the contractor is going to get a set of rules from DOT or a company. When I was working, it was called MTCCC, which was Maintenance Traffic Construction. And they would have to tell the contractor what he can do and what he can't do. I have no idea what they agreed to. The board should know what they agreed to because the community is going to be heavily impacted by this work. Do we know if they have to move a gas line so they can put the sewer in? Do they have to move a water line to put the sewer in? How many times they're going to be opening the street? Say they do between Bronxwood and the next block down, and then they have to come back and reopen it again. What it does, it just causes a lot of issues in the neighborhood. Now, the contractor has to have a field office. He has a liaison person already, but the liaison person should make a weekly report to the district manager telling him where they are, what encumbrances they have, if they're behind or if they're going ahead, which we have no guarantee that they're going to do this. And in most jobs, when I had some control over it, I made the contractor meet with the community leaders once a month. That was police, fire, transportation, and whoever needed to know what was going on. There's nothing there. We don't even know if they're going to have a field office, which they have to have so we can go to the field office if we have complaints. I would like some support to write a letter so the people of this community do not get the shaft, because if we have no control over it, we are going to get the shaft because the contractor is going to go way out of his limits. He may be given a 12-foot lane, or he may take 13 feet, which would encumber the traffic flow on 233rd Street. And we all know how heavy the traffic on 233rd Street is. And what protection is he going to provide at night where he's working? He's supposed to work 2 block lengths, from what I understand. So, but there'll be moving lanes. So when he blocks an intersection, how is he going to provide access to that intersection? Somebody has a home, how is he going to let them get into their driveway? So we should have a lot more to say about this contract. I don't remember the contract. I don't think I ever dealt with him, so I can't make a comment on him. But there's a lot of contractors that take advantage of the communities. Okay, go ahead.
I would like to change my vote in regards to the gas station on Webster Avenue and 233rd. I would like to vote nay on that. Nay.
They won't give you no donuts anymore.
No, you can't change it. Once the motion has been accepted, you can't change your vote. Come on, you know better, Luke. Okay, stop. Thank you. Right, that's enough. I'm very sorry, but once the motion to pass is accepted,
And she's,
There's no backs.
yeah, and she's correct. As a parliamentarian, I will agree with you.
And I know Robert was up.
I know you do. And you scare me.
I know, I'm very sorry you can't change it. No, but
Okay, no, 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 no.
this is the real world here.
Hold up. Give Ariel the mic, please.
No, you're fine. All I'm trying to convey is that we just said that when new people come in that they need assistance and they need orientation. When the voting was happening, it was happening very fast for him and he was trying to understand. And that is fine. This is an educational moment. But sometimes the way we come off and we're just like, oh, no, that's it. But okay, understandable. He understands for next time. I'm just saying, when we're doing things moving forward, you know, just to like give a quick second and opportunities for people to like fully understand if they have a moment. He just wasn't clear on it, so that's fine. So you understand it's not going to change the vote, and moving forward, when we have future orientation, we'll all get on the same page.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
If it came out the wrong way, but I was just trying to educate you that in Robert Rules of Orders, this parliamentary right here, I probably know it's not as much, but close to it. You cannot take a vote back once the motion is passed. And that's what I was trying to convey to you, so you're educated on that and know in the future, rather than having someone tell you you can change your vote, because that's not true. In the real world, you can't take it back.
Thank you.
Once it's done, okay?
Thank you.
And if you have questions, ask the question. Don't
Right.
wait until the very, if you got a question in your head running around there, you know, raise your hand. Okay? Don't be
Okay,
afraid.
thank you. Troy, you good with that?
Yeah, true.
Okay, thank you.
There's never a stupid question. Okay. Getting back to 233rd Street for a minute, I would also recommend that the board request TCAs at certain intersections, like Laconia, Bronxwood, and especially Granada, Baychester, and 233rd Street. When they're working in that intersection, it's going to be pure hell. And you need TCAs to control the traffic. And I didn't hear anything about any TCAs in the contract. The contractors do not like TCAs because they have to pay them. The city doesn't pay the TCA. When a TCA works for a contractor, they pay the TCAs. And it will be two people, because when they come on, you would need them from 7 to 7. And they would have to come on at 5 and leave at 9. So they would have to pay those TCAs that amount of time, because the TCA day starts at where their field office is.
All right, Cole, so we have to move on. Thank you. Robert Hall?
Yeah.
Committee, what committee?
Housing Committee. Although we did not
Committee
approve.
one.
Committee 1. Although we did not approve it, the City of Yes is creating backyard apartments. It's called ADU, accessory dwelling units. Many homeowners qualify for this type of project, which is now has financing through HPD. So you're going to see this. And this is what you call your little tiny house in the backyard, an apartment over garage, a home in the attic. There are HPD's accepting applications for a program to finance these projects. These units are also called granny flats. Okay, right now I'm seeing 395,000. That's what I'm seeing, all right? That's subject to change.
Robert, what I'm asking, what can I make a year in order to be qualified for this program?
There's no cap.
There's no
There's
cap.
no cap.
Because
Okay.
when I was reading it, it said for certain income.
No.
And it didn't
I read-
mention what the income was.
I didn't mention income.
No, not you. I read
No,
up on this already.
Yeah, but no, I didn't see anything about income.
I thought maybe it changed. Okay, thank you, Robert.
No problem. All
I,
right?
I actually received a application for my interest because I was interested in the past, but it was closed. And it does have income requirements based off of the number of people that live in your household.
Excuse me.
etc.
Hello, Daryl. Okay, Daryl.
Interesting.
Yeah, but we didn't know who was talking. It's okay.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh, I'm so sorry.
I know that.
This is Daryl, but yeah, I received because I was interested in the past. So I received.
Daryl,
an
excuse me,
email-
Daryl.
Yeah.
We just need you to be recognized if you want to speak. You didn't notify us.
Oh, okay.
You just
I'm
started
sorry.
talking, and there was a conversation going on here, and then we just heard you
All right, yeah.
speaking.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
Right, and he's doing a committee report right now.
Yeah, but if he has some information that I do not have, but I did not receive that. Yeah, but what's his name, Darryl? Okay, well, Doctor, you can speak if you attempted to ascertain any type of resources for this. Did you contact them?
Daryl? There you go.
Yeah, hello?
Okay, Daryl, thank you. You can speak now. Go ahead,
All
Daryl.
right, thank you. Yeah, so this was someone that I reached out to in the past. I actually asked Ursula about it not too long ago. And what I ended up doing was I got an email from a +1 ADU from HPD. And, they asked me, thank me for my interest, and they had a form for me to fill out. On that form, it asked questions pertaining to what kind of unit you wanted. Like he mentioned, a granny flat, a house in the backyard, or you could redo your basement to actually make it legal. And they do ask what your income is and how many people live in your household. So there is different, like when he's talking about the money that they actually give you, I think that sometimes they could give you a loan from what I was seeing. I'm waiting to hear back. I just filled out the interest form, but there is an income requirement.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say there's a website dedicated for this. It's called housing.hpd.nyc.gov/ADU.
Thank you. That would do it. Okay? Housing.
Housing.hpd.nyc.gov/ADU. But if you just type in your search engine ADU Housing NYC, you should be able to find it.
Right, and you can go on the site and you can put your address in, and it'll tell you if your home qualifies for an ADU.
Thank you.
You done, Paul? Thank you. Next up is Committee 3.
Good evening, thank you. We had a most awesome meeting, and I'm going to turn everything over to Javid.
Thank you, Tolleen. So on Thursday, March 19th, Committee 3 met up, and we talked about a whole host of matters that pertain to the health and education of our community. We came up with 4 motions to bring to you all here at the General Board meeting. We're going to try to be as clear and concise as possible so we can go through these motions and bring them to the General Board. But first, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Finn and Alpha to speak about our social media discussion at our committee meeting as well as our community resource fair.
Awesome. So I am going to hopefully send an email tomorrow. Sorry, it's about to be spring break, so my semester is a little crazy. I would hope that we could do the community resource fair on June 12th. that would be like the kind of like best Saturday, because it's like during graduation season, and I feel like that's right before graduations. So that's one thing. One of the things that we talked about in committee meeting that presented was one of the media people. She was definitely good. It's definitely a very good thing that we should look into. Also, just having resources. One of the other things we talked about is Happy Women's Month, Happy Social Work Month. Shout out to all of my social workers, Alpha, Lucy, who's not here, and of course myself. I'm a social worker. We really do hard work. It's very important, and it's not an easy job. The other thing that I wanted to say is that Dr. Sherry talked about colon cancer, correct? Yes. It is also important that we talk about colon cancer and getting checked, and not just getting checked at the last minute, getting checked in real time. So let's make sure we spread awareness about that.
They said it all. All right, so our social media has been going really well. I feel like we've been doing a lot of interviews. Dr. Sherry put me on the spotlight last week, so we're gonna continue spotlighting other people. Definitely, when you see the social media, press repost on it. So press like, repost, comment. It's gonna help the algorithm go up. I see a lot of people are writing in the DM, are very interested, so it's really cool to see. I'm sure people are jumping on the virtual as well. You want to add it too? Yes, BXCB12 Connect on Instagram if you're not following us. We look forward to getting more interviews, getting more highlights of events that we do. And then I think there's something else I had in my head, but I'm going to let Javad go. And if I think about it, I'll bring it back.
All right. Thank you so much, Alpha, and thank you, Dr. Finn. I want to second that. Happy Women's Month and happy Social Workers Month, because you guys work so hard for our community, and that's really important. I really give you guys kudos for that. So we're going to run through the motions here. The first motion that we have here from committee, and I'm going to be on my phone because I'm going to send something in the chat so that way you all can see it, is a motion to bring a community concern log to the full board for our full board meetings to track ongoing concerns brought to our general board meetings. Yeah, the WebEx. I'm sorry. I'm sending it into the WebEx chat right now. Did it get sent through? It says it is a motion to be voted upon. Yes, it's 4 motions to be voted upon. I will give it to you, absolutely. So the first one, I sent it in the chat. I'm not sure if it's uploading. It just says, okay, sent. So a little quick summary on what this community concern log is. Every time a stakeholder that comes to our general board meetings, whether that be a community member, whether that be one of us, or whether that be a interest holder in our community, it could be a organization that is from a school district or from a public safety workshop area, when they come to our general board meetings and we listen to them and we hear what their concerns are, this community concern log is to log their concerns. So what it will be comprised of is logging the type of individual or stakeholder that comes into our meeting, whether that be a stakeholder of an organization, a community member that lives within our community board area, or one of us as a board member. And it also will log what their concern is and the category of their concern. And the categories are listed on the concern log. And basically they span from issues related to unhoused individuals, related to parking, related to illegal dumping, related to noise complaints, quality of life, all these host of issues that we hear here at the board, at the general board meetings. And it's a log, yes. It will be held, it's an online digital log, and basically it is completely transparent. Anyone can see it. Anyone can see what people come in to speak to us about, and they can also see how we directed the individual to how to resolve their issue. We're tracking it so that way we can track what the concerns of our community are. Yeah.
Quick question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead, Rob.
Is this something maintained by the committee, or is this going to be maintained by George and Ursula?
It will be maintained. It will be maintained by a committee. George and Ursula, not, but.
All right. So basically, we brought this log before about 2 years ago, we brought this to the board as an idea. It was going to be mainly about construction, a bunch of other projects. Javid literally made a much better and much more concise version of this log. So the same way we have people coming in today telling us about all the different things that are within the community, it just doesn't end here. It will literally be in the log, and the log will become public knowledge. In order for it to be public knowledge, district manager as well as our secretary would literally have to upload it to the website. So it's basically going to flow through a chain. Literally, as it's happening, we'll put together in that log, and then they will look over it and approve it before we actually put it up online.
May I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Just to clarify, how will we protect private information?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, and that actually goes to what I was going to follow up with on, is that George actually reached out to a member of who is the person exactly that he reached out to? I know to protect our privacy of the people that are coming in.
Yeah, it was OTI. We have privacy laws that we
Yes,
have to
thank
be
you.
mindful of.
Thank you, George. So he reached out to him to send the link to the log that I created, and to see if we're following all the rules to make sure we're protecting people's privacy. I do want to say that it should not be an issue because the log clearly states inside of it that nobody's personal information will be shared. The only thing that we track is who's bringing it. Is it a community member? Is it a stakeholder, like that's an interest holder in a community, or a board member? No information to what the person's name is, their gender, sexuality, identity, nothing. It's just their concerns that we're tracking and what organization is bringing it forward. Yes, exactly. It's good data for us so that we can flag what we're having. Yes, so the motion is to be able to approve this upon, I guess, upon
Clarity.
approval, upon clarity, to see if we are following all privacy laws that we
Right.
need to as this general board, if the general board agrees to keeping this log for our general board meetings. Oh, sorry, go ahead, E.
So we're going to pause real quick because I just would like to make a suggestion, all right? And I'm basically going to echo what Carl suggested, which makes the most sense. There are 4 motions that are going to come to you tonight before this from this committee. It would make the most sense in terms of time for us to vote on all 4 of them at the same time. If you have any concerns about any of the individual motions as they are presented, like we said earlier, say something. I understand that beforehand or even now is very unsettling for a lot of new members, but not even just new members, but members that have been here. I'm not going to call y'all old because that's rude. I'm going to say that you're veteran members of this community board, and sometimes even our veteran members don't feel like they have the space to say opposing opinion. So to be clear, so all the air is settled, you are here because your opinion matters. So if you have a disagreement about something that's on the floor, say it. It doesn't matter if you think you're the only one that feels that way. We won't know that unless you say that. And then we can also work within that to get to a better solution. Everybody good? All right.
Thank you, E. And I second that, and I also want to make sure.
Correct. What Denise was just asking was, do we need a majority vote for? Yes. Correct. So should we do a motion first to even say that we're going to even go with this process?
I'll be honest with
Yes.
you, I
Yes.
feel like the majority of these things
All
will
right.
be fine. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to pause real quick. Go ahead, Dominique.
Tony, I have a random question.
Go
So
for
what
it.
if I'm not saying that well, hypothetically speaking, what if I want to say yes to one but not the rest?
Right, that's why in this moment, you're going to ask for amendment.
Got you. So I'd have to ask for
to
amendment
whatever
right
the
now.
motion is. Hmm? Right. Right. But if it hasn't been voted on yet, they can ask for it.
Point of us having all 4 issues voted upon as one is to have all 4 voted as one. You can't have an amendment and say, okay, but we're going to take this one out. No, once the motion is made and accepted, you cannot make amendments.
Oh, okay.
disputing that. What I'm saying is that we didn't even vote yet if we're going to even vote on all 4 yet, right? Javid is literally just telling us about the motions right
Yes,
now.
yes.
So we haven't even gotten to that part yet.
Yes.
You are absolutely correct that once we actually do that, we can't amend it. But while he's literally presenting, you can make an amendment to it.
Yes, thank you so much for that, and Denise. I want to offer a point of clarification. If you have any questions at all about the motions that we're bringing forward, please ask them, because not only will it help you make a better decision, it might help us make a better motion. So that way we can implement it into the motion, because right now, the shortest summary of what we're doing right now, what this motion is to track the concerns that the community comes here for. That's all it is. It's tracking what the concerns are so we can be better at understanding what our community is concerned about and responding to it. Because when we have our committee meetings, we're also brainstorming on how we can help our committee, how we can help our community. So if we have this concern log, we could say, hey, let's look at the log, let's brainstorm about how we can help our community based on what the concerns have come here. That's all we're doing. For this, that's what this motion is about, is to have this concern log.
Point of clarification, and sorry to belabor the point.
Go ahead.
But, this is bundling. So the chair would make the request, can we please bundle these motions? And then the board chair says yes, or whatever. And then if you want to vote on one, you can say yay on 1, 2, 3, nay on 4. That's how you do it. Just back to you.
I'll be completely honest, I don't know how to phrase that. If you guys want to, can we do a vote to bundle? Also, I think we're pretty confident that most of these motions are pretty simple. They're not like overly complicated ones, and they're things that we've discussed before during our general board meetings. They're kind of just like updates to things. So, and we've passed them before, it's kind of just updates on them. So I think we can do. Yes. Exactly. So I'll go to the second motion. So the second motion relates to the community resource fair that Dr. Finn brought up. Basically, so this relates to the RMP, so the Restaurant to Meal program that we have been discussing on multiple board meetings, multiple committee meetings. It is the program that allows people that are disabled, people that are homeless, and people that are elderly to use their EBT benefits to go into a place that prepares food, hot food, to use their EBT benefits for that. So you can go into a deli and get a sandwich with your EBT, right? We tried to expand it. We were not successful in doing that on a federal level because of the federal climate, as we were told by our elected leaders. So instead, what we are doing is we're trying to expand the education of our local businesses that want to be participants in this program, so they can too also accept EBT at their place of business. So if you're a bodega owner and you want to accept EBT for the deli station, you could come to this resource, the Community Resource Fair, where the Office of Temporary and Disability will be there presenting a workshop on how to be approved to accept EBT at your place of business. And this motion is to invite the Office of Disability to the resource fair so they can provide this workshop and teach our local businesses how they can accept EBT at their business. Okay. Any questions on that before I move to the next motion? No? Okay, great. Next motion is about the community health profiles. As was discussed earlier by our Richie Torres's community outreach member, the community health profiles is now a bill on the federal level to try to make sure that we're having neighborhood health data in all of our neighborhoods across the United States. We still want to hyper-focus on New York City because we are a community board in New York City, especially in the Bronx. And we don't want to only depend on the federal bill. We want to make sure we're hyper-focused on our community. So this motion is to bring a formal letter of support to the borough president that states that we are interested in the community health profiles being updated for New York City and specifically the Bronx. But overall, all of New York City hasn't had an updated community health profiles since 2019, so a very long time. All of New York City, right? So this motion has to do with writing a formal letter of support to the borough president for an update to the community health profiles for New York City. Is there any questions for clarification on this or any ideas to improve this motion?
Anyone?
All right, perfect. Okay, last motion. The last motion was the change of the committee three's name, and the name that we came up with as a group was the Committee of Public Health and Education, and we are going to do a vote on whether or not this is a fine name for Committee 3. Okay, who wants to throw the amendment out there to bundle these? Yes, go ahead, Judith. Yes.
Profile update.
For the community health profile. Yes. And updates of the community health profile.
What is the community profile?
The community health profiles is a digital dashboard that New York City Department of Health used to keep. They haven't updated since 2019 that tracks all of the health metrics that each community and neighborhood has in New York City. It spans from issues with people that have hypertension, people that have diabetes, it has asthma rates, it has avoidable hospitalizations. That's when people go to the emergency room because they're suffering some kind of health issue that could have been avoided if they had proper primary care visits, stuff like this. And what we are going to do with that is we're writing a letter in support for them to update this so that way we can have up-to-date information on the health of our community so we can create programs to help combat whatever issues are rising in our community relating to health disparities.
Thank you. That's it?
That's it. I understand. I understand. You can ask me more questions, Judith. I got you.
All right. So I would like to put forward a motion to accept the committee's report. Thank you, Carl, because we are going to do this in order. All right. May I have a motion? May I have a second? So moved.
I second. Robert Hall.
All right. Sorry, Mr. Hall. Mr. Isaac beat you to it. He's prettier. You know what? I love it. Muhammad Ali. I love it. Yes, to accept the report. All right. Oh, sorry. And now the second motion is.
First we have to vote on the first motion.
All right.
You can't vote on the T pass the first motion.
Why, thank you. All right. So, would y'all like to do this? See, and you wonder why we keep you around. This is the exact reason why we keep you around, Carl. All right. So, may we do it roll call style? Everybody good with that? No? You can do a voice. You want to do a voice?
One call because if you're against the report of the committee,
Right.
you just say abstain or a nay. But the point is, the committee report should be accepted. It's what comes after the committee report, the second motion.
So let's ask first, do anyone have any amendments to the committee's report? Any friendly amendments? Okay. Luke,
I was going to
ahead.
ask. Can we do a voice vote to speed this along?
A general vote on the committee report. And I don't see any reason why we should say nay to the committee report, because they worked their butts off, pardon me. But the key is, let's get that vote out of the way so we can vote on the second vote, either approving or disapproving what they want to do.
All in favor? Let's do a voice vote.
There was a question? Oh, okay.
It was just. We can do the vote. I know. They're both not controversial. We could just do voice votes for both.
It's a motion, and we have to approve. And let us go through the roll call for the approval of the committee report. And I'm going to go through it because I think I've lost one person. All right, so I'm going to make this part simple. As you see, I was writing furiously to get all this stuff down. No, the motions were the long report. Those in favor of accepting Committee 3's report, please say aye. Aye. Any negatives? Any recusals? Any abstentions? The ayes have it. Okay? Now, now we're going to go on to the motions. I need someone to do that.
I make a motion to bundle all 4 recommendations from the committee.
I second.
Seconds.
It was probably second. Perfect.
Just for clarity, Javed, just repeat all 4 motions.
Okay, I will definitely repeat all 4 motions. First motion is, I'll list the titles. Go ahead, Judith. Yeah, I'll try. Two community concerns. To have, okay, so the first one is to have a community concern log for tracking of ongoing concerns. That's the first motion. The second motion is to invite the Office of Disability and Temporary Disability to the community resource fair that we're having to bring support for the RMP program. The third motion is sending a letter, a formal letter to the borough president for a community update to our community health profiles. And the last motion is to rename committee number 3 the Public Health and Education Committee.
Good job. Is that, does everyone understand? All the motions? Okay.
All in favor, hold on, John. All in favor? Aye. Any negatives? Any abstentions? Any recusals? The ayes have it. Thank you.
Motion passes.
All right, everybody. So you saw how painless that was of just giving some clarity first, and then we actually just named our committee. That name didn't just pop out of nowhere. That was something that was literally a part of that committee's meeting. So for your next committee meeting, right, that means committee number 1. You can't just be committee number 1. I know you think you're number 1, and I love it. I love that for you. But you have to have an actual name so people know what your committee encompasses. Currently, committee number 1 is land use and housing. Committee number 2 is parks, environmental concerns, and safety. Just because you are not on that committee does not mean that you do not have an opinion about what it should be named. Everybody good? All right. So when you go back to your individual committees, and again, if you're not sure which committee you're on or when your committee meets, just reach out to Clinton, myself, or John, or George, or Ursula. Matter of fact, email all 5 of us, just so that we can confirm that you're on the proper committee. All right? And the next committee meeting for...
Committee 1.
All right? So standing committee number 1, that would be land use, housing, economic development, and business services, transportation, and capital improvements. That meets on the 2nd Monday of every month. Standing committee number 2, which will have a name, just not tonight. Public safety, parks and recreation, environmental concerns. We meet every first Thursday of the month. And Standing Committee 3, no longer Standing Committee 3, Public Health and Education Committee, meet every third Thursday without fail. If you cannot make it to your committee meeting or a general board meeting, it's not the end of the world. We just need to know in advance. Same thing for latenesses. Those do count against you as community board members. Pretty much the only thing that can get you off a community board is your own attendance and time. So with that said, we understand that everyone has, a real life outside of the hours we spend together. If there's something going on where you can't be here and you don't want to tell us all of the details, at least send us an email so we know that you won't be here. Right? And that's the end of my TED Talk. I'm heading it back over to Luke just to make sure that we have no updates or if he would like to say anything on behalf of committee number 2.
Housing, land,
Hi,
trans.
everybody. Thank you. I'll try to make this quick. We heard from Ujama Garden. Still have concerns around the vendor who's sets up a temporary food cooking establishment on the sidewalk, and there's some conflict there. I've heard a request for Bronx River Forest Greenway to be paved. If anybody uses that greenway, it's right under the Burke Avenue Bridge. It's pretty bumpy. Somebody says that they want to roller skate from Pelham Parkway all the way to Bronx River Forest. Sounds like a good idea to me. It hasn't been repaved in a really long time. And those are the matters. We heard that Coca-Cola Incorporated wants to go against our ban on plastics and reduction of plastics. We'll see if we put them on the agenda. But really appreciative of our environmental track record here. We're batting one for everything on supporting healthy environments, despite what Coca-Cola might say. Thank you.
Can I make the motion and close the meeting? Are we done?
No, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. New business. New business. Okay, so can we hear about the community resource fair from Dominique, please? Thank you.
Wait, I just addressed that though, Clinton. I told you I was going to talk to George about the date. I didn't get to do it today because I had classes, so I just want to square off the date if that's okay, and then I got everybody next month. But I have definitely talked to some businesses. I have at least 5 or 6, and then I'll talk with Dr. Sherry because she has some resources also. Sounds good?
Thank you. And community board night out in the community. So the suggestion was, from me, that we go to Triple Deuce, but I was asked if we can consider some other establishments in the district that we could go to. So if anyone has any ideas about where we can go, including Triple Deuce, or it doesn't have to be Triple Deuce, but they can bring it to me, let me know, so that we can take a vote on it somehow to decide which way we're going to go with the community board night out. Okay?
I got one question. What day are we planning to do this? Because I know that we said we wanted to do it in April, or are we going to wait until we are about to take hiatus?
It might be May now because we're taking a vote.
Got you. Okay.
So but I need, if you're going to submit it, please submit it to me as soon as possible. It has to be somewhere where there's enough room for us all to sit down and be able to order. That's why I had mentioned Triple Deuce, because they have a big space. But if that's not where we're going to go, that's fine. It just has to be somewhere that can accommodate all of us. Okay?
Okay, everybody, we're almost out of here. We are literally almost out of here. So this is a request for our district manager, because everyone here, yes, the main things that get done at the board come from the committee's work, right? And that also includes the minutes that are taken. So whoever's responsible for doing your minutes, make sure that they submit them timely, because we would like to ask George to upload them within 48 hours of receiving them. So notice what I'm saying. If he doesn't get the minutes until like a week from your meeting, then we can't say, oh, he's to blame for not having the minutes up on time, all right? So if we give them to him as soon as possible and he gets them up in a timely fashion, then people that weren't able to go to your committee meeting, they'll be able to see what actually happened. And then we can also vote on those, not the minutes, on the report that you have when we come to our next general meeting. That was the first thing. So the second thing is, just to recap what we said earlier, if your committee is still without a name, that's what you'll be discussing at your individual committee meetings. And the last thing is, we're going to just have not only that we're having a resource fair here, we'll also be having a housing fair, meaning an open house here at the Community Board 12, so that people can understand what each of our committees do and how to become a board member. Those are important things, because people they literally do not know what a community board does, how it operates, and what are the resources that are available. So this is a good precursor to the resource fair, because people will be able to come in off the street and speak to us directly about their concerns, something they may not want to do in an open forum like this. So it gives them that intimacy to get to know all of us one-to-one. So there was an email sent out asking the availability. I'm not going to reread all of it. We'll just resend it so that anybody that wants to be involved can be involved. Clinton? Last bit of business, I would like to call for a motion for the new bylaws committee, because remember in our last meeting, we voted to no longer make that an ad hoc group. That is now a standing committee. Does anybody have any oppositions for the bylaws committee being called governance? No. Does anybody have any other suggestions? No. Everybody understands that there will need to be a new chair and vice chair for that standing committee.
Wait, are we creating the bylaws committee right now?
We voted on it already in
thank you.
February.
Sorry, thank you.
All right, it's okay. All right, so now we have 4 cities and 1 subcommittee. So if you are interested in wherever it comes from, it matters, because it makes us a better board.
We got 26 new members of the NYPD added to the 47th precinct out the last graduating class. Let's just let you know, okay? 26 new police officers in our community, okay? So can we get a motion to adjourn this? Oh, stand by. Oh, you made it. Who? You got it? Dominique? Thank you all for coming.